Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman 2. Yes, Superman 2. There's Superboy, there's the Eradicator, the Cyborg, the Man of Steel, and I don't know, someone else.
So is this Superman, Man of Steel, one of Superman's duplicates then?
No, because I guess there's actually a movie based on Man of Steel. Because the guy...
This is very confusing.
So Man of Steel is a nickname of Superman, but there's a guy who's not... His nickname is not Man of Steel. His real name is, I guess, just Steel, actually. It's not actually Man of Steel.
I thought you were going to say Steve.
Eradicator, the Cyborg, and Steve! Superman 2 is... We saw the Richard Donner cut, which is the
better cut?
Well, according to most people, it's better. Yeah, so Superman 2 was originally shot alongside Superman by Richard Donner, but the people who were producing it were mad at A, his tone, and B, how much money he was spending, and so they hired Richard Lester, who was known for doing comedy
Weren't they
movies.
mad that it wasn't funnier?
Yeah, with the Beatles, and they let him reshoot it and recut it and do whatever he wanted. And it came out, and it was apparently very campy. So Richard Donner, until 2006, he was allowed to do. He was not allowed to actually put out his cut until 2006, which is what we saw. And it's like a totally different movie, even though it's based on the same storyline. He uses like a lot of different shots and things that he shot as compared to what Richard Lester shot, and it's only about 20% of the same footage. Anyway.
But it's using footage, like, who is it? Was it Gene Hackman who didn't want to do it with Richard Lester? He wanted the Richard Donner, so he left, so they didn't have him for the...
Right, so for Richard Lester, they used scenes that were already shot for Gene Hackman, or they used a body double for new scenes.
That's crazy. Yeah, it doesn't
because Gene Hackman didn't want to do reshoots, and they didn't use what's his name, Marlon Brando, because they would have had to pay money, like a appearance fee, and they didn't want to do it. So instead of Marlon Brando plays Jor-El.
Jor-El?
He plays Jor-El, who is Superman's father, and he tells stuff to Superman, and instead in the Richard Lester cut, they have Superman's mom telling stuff, who is not like...
Mrs. Jor-El?
Yeah.
Whatever her name is.
Mrs. L, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's like not really that big of a deal in the first movie.
I don't even remember her at all. Like, what did she look like?
So it's about like 3 Kryptonians who get trapped in the Phantom Zone, who apparently were really bad, get out of the Phantom Zone, and attack Earth. And at the same time, Lois Lane finds out that Superman is really Clark Kent, or Clark Kent is really Superman, the other way you want to think about it. And Superman is like in love with Lois Lane, and he goes to talk to, what's his name? His dad, and his dad is like, well, okay, if you want to like be in love with someone, you should get rid of your powers for some reason.
He's like, if you want to live like them, you have to be like them.
For some reason.
And he's like, I really don't want you to get rid of your powers, but you have to, because
but
you're
you
in
have
love.
to, and here's how to do it.
Yeah.
But don't do
it.
But here's how to do it, and you have to do it. And he confuses the hell out of Superman, and Superman goes to like get his powers removed. Also, okay, so Gene Hackman plays Lex Luthor, and I think I said this before that I feel it's weird how he plays him. Like, he seems really undignified for Lex Luthor, and really, like, slimy. And I kind of, like, warmed up to his performance more, because, like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've seen it for longer, but
And the sidekicks.
Well, I accepted Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor more, even though it wasn't Lex Luthor-y enough to me. I understood his character. But he still has these sidekicks from this first movie who are really stupid and are really
unnecessary.
Yeah, and they're like comic relief. Like his male sidekick is someone who would be appropriate in like the Looney Tunes. Like,
yeah. Like
he is just so out of place in this.
He's like what are we gonna do now, boss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His female sidekick is slightly smarter than that, but not much. And they kind of like do like a thing where they infiltrate Superman's Fortress of Solitude, and she's like, where's the bathroom? Blah,
Yeah,
blah. Like, it's really stupid, and I don't know if that was Richard Lester's thing still.
Yeah. And the weird thing about her and the
Mhm.
treatment of her that I didn't like, in the first movie, she's like kind of important.
She
important part.
saves Superman.
And in the second one, they just kind of throw her away.
She's like
She's dumb again.
She's dumb again. She saves Lex Luthor from jail, and she disappears.
She has to go to the bathroom, and then she's gone. I didn't like that. I thought
Yeah, it was totally pointless.
the other sidekick was obnoxious, and I was glad to see him go. But with her, it was just like, okay, you were done with her, and that was kind of stupid.
Like, this is what I said. It was a good idea to get rid of them, but it would have been a better idea to never have them. What did you think about, like, the villains?
Oh, you mean
the Kryptonians
from the zone?
From the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
I think that they're cool. I like their acting. They're very like serious.
Yeah. I like General Zod.
Zod.
He says his name a lot, like he's a Pokemon, and he says Neil a lot.
Maybe that's his story.
And
he's a Pokemon.
He's like, Zod, Neil before Zod. Zod, Neil.
I like
Neil before Zod.
And I like Ursa because she's a badass.
Maybe,
name, right? Yeah.
Zod has an older brother named Neil. Neil before Zod. Zod after Neil.
I like Ursa because she's a badass and she like will kill people for no reason.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
She lasers a snake and then she's just like, "Oh, look what I can do."
Yeah, and they like kill like some astronauts,
yeah.
And like it's like with all this like really brutal stuff going on, the like really stupid comic relief feels really out of place.
Yeah, it's like it's its own movie because everything else is a lot more serious.
Yeah, and okay, so this is gonna be spoilery, but whatever. Superman is like, okay, I'm gonna like be a normal human being, and so he like, in my opinion, really stupidly becomes a. Oh, and his dad is like, it's irreversible if you become a person. So he gets into this like chamber that like shoots red rays of the Kryptonian sun.
Yeah.
And makes him a normal. Also, he doesn't ask Lois Lane if he thinks this is a good idea or
she's
she
just
wants
kind of
this.
standing there.
Yeah.
She's watching. She's not saying anything.
Yeah, and he doesn't ask her and she doesn't say anything and it's weird and they're like, okay. And here's what really bothers me about I mean, that whole thing is stupid, but I get it. It's like a dramatic thing or whatever. But like, okay, the Fortress of Solitude is located in the North Pole. And Superman lost his powers while he's in the Fortress of Solitude in the North Pole with Lois Lane. So I'm like, how is he gonna get out of there? Like, is he gonna like, flag down a ship to like, some sort of science mission or something? No, they just drive home from the North Pole. They just get in their car and drive home. Like, is there a gas station in the North Pole? And there's water.
Yeah.
And it's freezing, and they just drive back, and they like pass through a diner.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the North Pole and the USA, there's a diner.
Like Canada.
Okay.
But it doesn't make
Maybe
any sense.
they drove to an iceberg and waited for it to float.
But like he's wearing a suit and she's wearing a normal like lady suit.
Yes. They're not even dressed like they're not even dressed for Canada, let alone the North Pole. And then he like fights a bully who like beats him up, and so he's bleeding for the first time, and then he sees on TV that like Zod has captured the president, and they're like, "Where's Superman to save us?" And at the same time, Lex Luthor is trying to weasel his way to like be like, "I can help you defeat Superman if you like give me Australia." Superman. He's like, okay, I need to go to the Fortress of Solitude to figure out how to get my powers back.
I need to apologize to my dad.
His dad is dead, though. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, how is he gonna get back to the North Pole? Is he gonna drive back? And actually, no. He leaves the diner, and he like goes to the street in like a passing truck. He like hitchhikes, and he like gets on the truck, and he hitchhikes his way back to the North Pole, and like he drops him off, and he like walks the rest of the way to the North Pole,
and he's like bleeding,
and he's like not
in a suit.
He's not even wearing a suit. I don't think he's wearing like a shirt and pants, and he's bleeding, and he walks.
And he's like all bruised and stuff on his face.
Yeah, and he goes into the North Pole, I suppose. They don't really show that.
Yeah.
And anyway, he gets his powers back.
His dad gives him the last of his strength or something.
Some BS or whatever. He goes and fights the Kryptonians, but they're like 3 against 1, so he can't really win. So then he like leaves, and then Lex Luthor tells them how to get to the Fortress of Solitude, get Lois Lane as a prisoner, and they're like, "We'll kill Lois Lane unless you like surrender." And then Superman tells Lex Luthor, he says like, "Well, if I can put them in this chamber, they'll lose all their powers or something." And Lex Luthor is like, "Okay," and then he like tells the Kryptonians, he's like, "Yeah, if he wants you to step in that chamber, don't do it, because then you'll lose all your powers." By the way, the Kryptonians, Lex Luthor keeps trying to deal with the Kryptonians and be like, give them information or whatever in exchange for stuff.
For countries.
But they don't do it, and they like threaten to kill him every time. And he's like, "What? I was being useful to you," and he's really stupid in that way.
He's like, "This time I want Cuba," and it's like, they're still gonna try to kill you.
They don't care. Anyway, and then Superman, they force Superman to go into the chamber, and like they activate the thing, and the sun thing, the rays hit him, but it's actually like
he
reversed it so that actually inside of the chamber is the only place that didn't get hit, and they get hit with it, and then so they become depowered, and he like beats them up. Another thing that I don't know is like, how did he know that wasn't gonna like kill Lois Lane? There was like maybe I guess I don't even understand that, but whatever. Maybe that would give them powers. That would be funny if that would have given Lois Lane power.
Yeah.
Because the yellow sun gives Superman power, so maybe the red sun gives us powers. I have no idea. And he spins the world around again to, like, return everything, and that even returns the people back to the Phantom Zone.
And Lois forgets.
Oh, Lois forgets that he's Superman.
And he likes it that way.
Yes. So anyway, it's kind of like, I think that originally the ending of the spinning around the world in Superman 1 was not supposed to be the ending of that. It was supposed to be the ending of this. So.
Yeah.
But it is kind of stupid if you watch them one after the other that he does that every time. And the other thing that, okay, like, I previously complained about how incredibly stupid it is that the world turns backwards so time goes backwards. But, like, it's even worse this time because the world the Earth turning backwards affects time traveling backwards in space too, because they return out into outer space into the Phantom Zone. So I don't know, time travel, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like this movie despite lots of logic flaws. Oh, I kept being like, I know the Fortress of Solitude is usually in the North Pole. But I was like, maybe in this movie, like, it's actually in Canada or Alaska or something. And I was like, because it's so stupid that he, like, hitchhiked and walked to the North Pole. Like, I think even a 4-year-old can tell you that's not a good idea. But, no, they do say, like...
Lex Luthor, doesn't he?
See, yeah. He says something like, let's go to the North Pole. That's where the Fortress of Solitude is. So I don't know.
We came all the way to the North Pole. Yeah.
Yeah. We were discussing, like, what truck drives to the North Pole, and you said maybe he had a shipment for a penguin.
Yeah.
Then I was like, not even that makes sense, because penguins live in Antarctica, which is in the South Pole.
With Santa.
Yeah. No, Santa's in the North Pole. So maybe it was a shipment of toys for Santa?
Maybe.
Well, I guess if Superman's real.
If Santa can live in the North Pole.
That'd be a good crossover. Superman versus Santa. I don't know why they would fight each other.
No, they would get along, I think.
I'm gonna give toys to everybody, you bastard!
How did you feel about this one versus the first one?
I think this was much more focused and much, like, tighter written.
I liked it more, yeah.
It seemed like there was less, like, and now Superman, like, saves some lady from falling off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one's kind of showing him off because he's new. So he's like... He's becoming a superhero
but
and
Lex
stuff,
Luthor comes in at, like, the 11th hour to be a villain.
Yeah.
and he like
Yeah.
suddenly wants to blow everything up, and
It's very rushed, that one.
well. It's not very. It's not
With the Lex Luthor stuff. It's
yeah.
suddenly, like, they build him
it's just
up
not
as...
focused.
Yeah,
It's just not focused because they go. It's not that it's rushed. It's that it has to be rushed because it meandered for so
Yeah.
long that at the end they're like, okay, we
Yeah.
need something big. We need someone to try to blow up the world at the end. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's in the first movie. These three villains are in the first movie. Like they are introduced,
So it
but
ties it.
they're introduced here again from the very beginning, and they keep building them up, and they come, and it makes sense that they are like crazy and want to rule the world because they're super powerful,
And it makes sense that they're mad at Superman because his dad is the one who banished them.
yeah, they just
So-
they just make a lot of sense, and it doesn't. The only thing that you could say plot wise is that Superman is kind of an idiot for like getting rid of his powers.
Yeah, he should have just not told his dad that he loved Lois.
Well, his dad is, I think, dead.
Well,
They
he
were never
is.
like they're never like really
No, but I mean,
really clear on
he
that.
goes to the thing and he tells his dad, "I'm in love with Lois. I want to be with Lois." And his dad's like, "Oh, well, you can't do that." Why does he tell him that? He should just be like, "Hey, everything's going great on Earth."
You can't do that. You'd be like, screw you, Dad.
Yeah.
I want to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You've been on Maury. Does your child love a human? I kind of understood his reasoning, but I didn't buy it. I would have been
Yeah.
like, no, sorry, Dad. I'm
Yeah.
keeping my powers. That was just kind of like out of convenience and like,
Story convenience.
yeah, like rule
To
of drama.
show you how to take away the powers. I think it was supposed to be like.
Yeah, I mean, it has a good payoff of like
Yeah.
the trickery at the end that I think is really cool because it shows that Superman's clever.
But like they act like because he's in love with Lois, he can't focus on saving other people. But that's BS because he was saving other people the whole time he was with her because he already liked her.
Also, I don't understand, like, this is what I said before, that to me, like, they were saying it, like, since he has this power, he has this huge responsibility to save everyone, and whereas someone who doesn't have the responsibility. But for me, someone who chooses not to have the power, you know, is the same as someone choosing not to use it. Like,
yeah.
I guess one is just like, he really can't now, but he chose that, you know?
Yeah.
It was a decision. So, and you kind of get Lex Luthor in a more effective role, and you get like the three Kryptonian people, and plus when he fights Lex Luthor, the only thing that Lex Luthor has over Superman, really, is that he has kryptonite.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, the people were just actually stronger than him. Like, they weren't stronger, but they were 3 against 1.
Equally, yeah.
So they were on the whole stronger. Anyway, so in the Superman sorting ranking, do you like Superman 2 more than Superman 1?
Yes.
And do you like Superman 2 more than Superman Returns?
Yes.
And do you like Superman 2 more than Iron Man 3?
Yes.
And do you like Superman 2 more than Iron Man 1?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And what's in between Iron Man 1 and Superman 2? Like, Dark Knight Returns? Or what?
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Rises? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Okay. Sorry, Dark Knight Returns is a comic book
That makes sense.
that Dark Knight Rises is based on. So, sorry,
Yeah.
Returns, Rises,
But yeah,
whatever.
Dark Knight Rises would probably be in between there.
Cool.
Cute. But I think Batman, which came later, but everybody's like, what's the first superhero movie that you saw? I saw Batman first, and some people were like, oh, but Superman. Superman came out earlier, and it's so great. Batman's better.
Oh, yeah.
Batman's way better. And I think Batman's a better
Yeah.
hero, too.
Yeah. Batman is much better than Superman, and I'm talking about the movies, but I'm also talking about the character. But yeah, I would rather Batman over Superman 2 as well.
Yes.
And I don't know. We'll see Man of Steel. I don't know if how that will rank.
I think it
because
will be good.
I was saying this that it seems like they're trying to make a kind of a serious take on him, not campy at all. Kind of like the Dark Knight is for Batman.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's not really campy. He doesn't really do camp. So.
Well, 300 is kind of unintentionally camp.
Well, yeah, but...
and they have Christopher Nolan producing, which I think is another way to tie it in, and that the other thing I was saying is that the Dark Knight is the moniker or the nickname of Batman, the most used, often used.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Caped Crusader is also used, but mostly the Dark Knight. and Superman's is the Man of Steel. So I think they're kind of doing
A thing.
a thing there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it will be as well regarded as Dark Knight, but I hope it's good.
I hope it's good too.
And that's really all
I think if it could be at least as good as people think the Christopher Reeve Superman is, like if it could be at least kind of at that level, that would be good.
Sure.